back to the music side of things because I love music. I think we all love music, because you kind of have to have it to live. If you don't, if by the way, if you don't listen to music in the car, you are a sociopath. I
My
want to let you
radio's
know.
broken.
Yeah, you're a sociopath.
I listen to
Get a speaker. I
podcasts in the
really
car.
well music. If you don't have sound on in your car,
Okay, there you
you're a psycho.
Dude, I'm
So
just having a psychiatric breakdown. Don't judge.
from that crack that
chill
I smoked
out.
before I got in my
Don't
car.
judge me, bro.
So, guys, I mean, like, I'm sure you guys had heard, or if you didn't hear, just to let our viewers know and everybody else, I mean, The Weeknd apparently was named the most popular artist in the world just recently, specifically after he dropped his revamped song of "Die for You," featuring the automatic feature for him, Ariana Grande. It hit up, I
Someone
believe,
that can keep up with his
11.
voice.
True.
Yeah, 111 monthly listeners he hit last month, I believe, or in the last month, and so which made him the most popular artist in the world. So I wanna put this point across just to give you some perspective. If you guys don't know that song, it has the girl from Squid Game. Can't remember her name. It's hard to say, and I don't want to butcher it and be disrespectful at all. Had the girl from Squid Game in the music video. It's Out of Time. Listen to that song and watch the video if you haven't. That's on the Korean side, just to let you guys get that out there. But the question is the Weeknd really at the peak of his game right now? Or is this just more of a recency bias that he is getting these type of hits at such a high rate at this moment in time over the past probably, I mean, easily over the past 3 to 6 months. So I want to start with you, Mike, just because I know like um, you probably have some thoughts just off the rip when you hear Weeknd is the most popular artist in the world. But I want to let you lead it off, see what you think.
Yeah. So to your specific question, the Weeknd's absolutely at the peak of his game, and his transcendence through his career is really impressive, and one that I wish that Chris Brown would have done with his career. So the Weeknd came in with R&B and soul, and he was really an R&B artist, and he's kind of have the best of both worlds with versatility that most artists aren't really given the opportunity to do or don't really have the talent to do. The only one we've seen really is Chris Brown on the male stature, because the Weeknd came in with a bunch of R&B hits. My favorite song back in high school is The Hills. I still think that's one of the greatest drops on all of R&B like history. I think that song's amazing. But he can go on some of the biggest artists with some of your biggest rappers. He's got a lot of hits with Future and Drake, and then he really lately in his last trio of albums transcended to a pop star. And I personally think that's where a majority of his discography is going to live from now on. I know that he'll give us a touch of R&B, a touch of hip hop here and there, but I think from now on he's going to live and die by the pop, and which is the same thing that I wanted Chris Brown to do with his career, because I feel like if Chris Brown would have transcended over to the pop and stayed in that area, I feel like he too would be one of the biggest artists, alive at the moment. But as far as him being the most popular artist in the world, I just don't see it. I really don't see it. I think that, he's definitely top five, absolutely. Just off the top of my head, artists that, I personally feel like have a little more pull than the Weeknd. I think
Like who?
I think Bad Bunny's got more pull than the Weeknd. I think Drake's got more pull than the Weeknd. I think Taylor Swift's got more pull than the Weeknd. I think even though Bruno only comes every 5 years, if he was dropping music as often as the Weeknd was, I think he's got more pull than the Weeknd does. And then that's where I think the Weeknd comes in right after Bruno. So I get it. It's monthly listeners. They're basing off of Spotify. I don't think that streams are everything when it comes to pool. I also look at culture, how you're affecting how the kids move. If you're going across country, how do those people see you? But I also got to give him his props because the Weeknd is the truth, man. He is really the truth. And I never saw him being one of these artists in that position back in the day. I thought he was super talented, super awesome doing R&B, but I just never thought that he could transition to pop and become a top 5 artist in the world. So all power to you, but I just don't see you being the most popular artist out there right now.
Let me just prove all of what you just said, Michael. Okay, so first of all, we got Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny's too new to the game. He could be The Weeknd, but his early discography was heavy rap, and that's not going to get every side of the genre. Next up, Taylor Swift. She's good, but she's fallen off, and she primarily
She is
only
not
pulls.
falling off.
She primarily
Oh
only
my
pulls
God.
women. A
No.
lot of girls listen to her. She has not captivated the male audience. Who else did you say? Bruno Mars. As you said, he doesn't release music enough, but Bruno Mars caters to the R&B soul thing, and that's not gonna get the white crowd either.
What?
So
24
then you
Karat
got
Magic?
that's just one song though.
No, that whole album, bro, is like he lived 3 years off of one album.
Then you got The Weeknd. The Weeknd. Men love him. Women love him. Doesn't matter what race you are. You love him. What we're thinking of is the American audience, but The Weeknd is massive in Europe. And there's so many more people I don't think there's so many more people over there, but there's a lot of people over there.
In Europe, yeah, there is.
who are
There is a
listening
lot
to The
in Europe.
Weeknd. So I think that's where he pulls most of
You think he's bigger
the
than
views.
Drake?
In the European market? Yes. Drake tries to be too many peoples.
Cook this man real quick, Sterling, and then I'm about to get in the pan. I'm about to have my wrist fumbling, That pistol's about to be popping like it's sitting in a skillet, yo.
And also The Weeknd's features. The Weeknd's features also brings in more audience.
Sterling, cook this man real quick. Please tell me you're gonna cook this man. If you cook me, bro, I'm coming for both y'all's neck.
So, to kind of walk in the direction that you were walking in a bit, Mike, when it comes down to it, I mean, I agree with you to a certain extent, Chad, to a certain extent, right? Not fully, not even near fully. But I understand where you're coming from. Let's just be 100,000% honest, bro. Die For You came out 3 years ago, right? Let's talk about this one song. Die For You came out 3 years ago. It was by itself. By himself, it was a great song. I enjoyed the song. I think if you're in a bad mood, low key, if you just broke up with a girl, your boyfriend, whatever, you're banging it, and it's easy and it's relatable. Secondly, then he revamps the song and puts Ariana Grande on it. He sings the same fucking lyrics, bro. There is nothing
That's what a
different
fucking
about the
remix
song.
is.
No, the thing is, no, not always with remixes. Not always. But he sings the same lyrics and he puts Ariana Grande on for 35 seconds, by the way. And her verse was great. I was kind of mad because I'm low-key an Ariana hater. Sorry, Ariana. I think your voice is amazing. Yeah, I am. I'm sorry.
That's a topic for another day.
I don't think she's
I
a great
enjoy
person.
that.
Person?
Yeah.
I don't think she's a great person. No, she's not a good person at all. I think she's very manipulative. But
Okay.
either or. But to say that he's not the most popular, I mean, he has been on this upward trend for a long time. Like, I remember, I think late 2021, early 2022, he was still popping off. I can't remember what was dropping, what was going on. But I think even with Heartless in the past, like 3 or 4 years, for someone to change a genre and become, like Michael said, a more pop side of it and go from R&B soul type of idea and succeed like he has, that is not only true talent, but that is pull. That's pull, bro. And pull is popularity. He is known across the entire globe. I told you, bro. He had a music video with that girl from Squid Game who is a beautiful woman, and a music video that popped off. The song was great, and he automatically grabbed the Korean population. Automatically, without even having to do anything. He could do K-pop right now, and they'd be banging it in Korea. They sure would. South Korea be like, and they banging it out. For you to say that he's bigger than Drake is crazy though. I'm gonna be 100% with you. Like that man Drake. Like, do you see my girlfriend and her friend got tickets to go see Drake in Atlanta? Let me tell you something, bro. Those shits were pre-ordered tickets. They were not pre-ordered. Pre-ordered tickets. They were pre-sale. I'm sorry. Them shits, it took like an hour of just re-clicking, refreshing, selling out at record rates. Record. I agree
Let me
with you,
guess, they're
Taylor
on
Swift.
Ticketmaster.
I don't know. I didn't look. But either way, like I agree with you when it comes to the Taylor Swift thing. She only targets women. I don't listen to Taylor Swift. I think she's got some good catchy songs that we You Belong With Me, all that shit like we know from our childhood or like our younger days. But like, bro, she's not the one. She's not it. Drake is it. Drake is it. I said this the other day. I said, if my parents know Drake and know his music and can
Your
sing his
parents
music,
know The Weeknd.
my parents don't know The Weeknd like that, bro. They don't know The Weeknd like that.
Let me ask
If my
both
mom,
you guys,
if
please.
Where Drake fell off was that whole scandal about him not writing his own lyrics.
But that's been disproven.
it's been disproven, but I'm telling you, for you to say, it's blasphemy for you to say that The Weeknd is more popular than Drake. Drake literally is an international superstar. The man literally hops on any track, anything you do, and it's going to be the most played song on an album. I talked about this the other day. It will always be the most played song on the album, even if the song is ass, bro. I promise you, it will always. And that is the craziest thing to me. He put out "Creepin'" it's a sample from a '90s song because everybody knows the song already. It's easy to gravitate to. He does that a lot. His samples, I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. With The Weeknd samples, The Weeknd is one of the most talented artists in the world. I believe that with 100%, no doubt. But he doesn't know how to like. He is not going to make like. I don't want to say he's not gonna make new sound. Like, and that's where popularity comes from. Is when you're building something new. And
Drake
people are
doesn't
saying,
make
like,
new
"Oh, I fuck
sound."
with it."
Oh,
Yes, he does,
put me
bro.
in, coach. Put me in. Please put me
All
in.
right, Mike.
All right.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm about to fry you.
Okay, deep fry me.
Whoa. Pause. All right. All right. So we are not going to, first of all, let me start off with Drake, since that's what you were talking about, Sterling. Drake absolutely created a new sound. Drake made it cool to sing and rap. He was the first person to do melodic rap and harmonize over a beat. He was also the first person to be vulnerable about the way he feels about females on a beat, which is absolutely the whole genre of rap today and the sound that is created from. And when we talk about The Weeknd's transition from R&B to pop, we also got to remember Drake made that same transition from rap to pop. Hotline Bling, all those songs that we love so much, Passion Fruit, those songs are global hits that a rapper created those songs. Like, imagine that type of transition from rapping to singing. So Drake has absolutely transcended the hip hop game, and everything he touches is gold. Your favorite artist's number one song in their discography is a Drake feature. Let's be honest, every single time. Now, if we're going to talk about Bad Bunny, I get it. It's early, but are we really about to sit here and say Bad Bunny don't have global pull? We really about to sit here and say Bad Bunny? He's out here breaking records on tours and everything like that. We're gonna act like he don't have global pull. He's literally global. He literally came like he hit US last. We were the last to get Bad Bunny. He already done touched the whole globe before we hopped on the Bad Bunny wave, which is one thing, which is a topic for another day of artists, in the UK or on the other parts of the globe, transcending global music and hitting United States last, because the US is honestly taking L's when it comes to artists. We're not producing big time artists like outside countries. Now, I get Taylor Swift only makes music for women and kids. We got to be honest, it's kids too. But we see what Taylor Swift does anytime she drops. She's over here repurposing albums with the same songs from her old discography because Scooter Braun owns them now, and she wants the masters and she wants the credit for it. She's dropping old albums. They're hitting number one. We can't I'm not a Taylor Swift fan either, but we got to be real with ourselves. She is absolutely a megastar. Billboard named her the artist of the decade. So, and she's been doing this since we were kids. We're talking about child stars. It was literally, I can't even remember a time where Taylor Swift wasn't dropping hits. Now we're going to go to Bruno. Bruno's 24 Karat Magic album is the biggest album out of anything that the Weeknd doesn't have a lick of his discography that even touches that album, that even touches that track. You know, like I just want you to like remember how big that track was. It's literally playing everywhere. Like literally the reason why Bruno takes 5 years is because he only needs to drop 8 or 9 tracks and he can live off that bitch for 3-5 years and he doesn't have to come back. He don't need this music. Like he's literally so big and it's crazy. But you know, I don't want to sound like I'm, you know, talking down on the Weeknd and shitting on the Weeknd because I'm a huge Weeknd supporter. And like you said, Sterling, with his samples, he did a cover of Dirty Diana by Michael Jackson. That's absolutely fire and it's sick. You should check it out if you don't know it. It's DD is what it's titled. But the Weeknd's amazing, man. But we can't jump all these other artists that I just think have more pull and have been doing it longer. And have transcended the game in so many ways, you know. So no disrespect to the Weeknd. Hey, my boy Abel, ain't no hate on this side. I'm just keeping it 100.
Abel, if you see this, just know that I was here for you. I was supporting you. You can give me tickets to the show. I won't take either of these two.
Yeah, Chad will be out there with all 4 of his buttons down.
I'll be out there, all 4 of my buttons down. I'll have Michael's brother with me, and I'll have Sterling's sister there, and I'll be like, yo, guess what?
What?
Yeah, I'm taking all your family members with me, and not you two. Mom,
All right,
Dad,
let me just break
I'll even call up your
let me just
uncles and
break down.
aunts.
That's gonna be a lot. Well, let me break something down for you so I can kind of put this to bed really quick. In terms of popularity, popularity can be it fluctuates. It definitely does, right? And we know that when it comes to popularity, like when you're in school, music, anything, it's gonna always change. It's just depending on what's going on in the world, right? Let me shout the Weeknd out. Yeah, he's got 111 million plus monthly listeners on Spotify, just Spotify, right? But if I look back into the decades of the 2010s, which is 2010 to 2020, right? This is like right as the end of 2019. That's when the Weeknd started being more poppy. 18, 7, like he started rolling into it. He didn't like jump into it. He rolled. Drake is the number 1 artist of the decade in terms of streams with 28 billion, bro. There are almost 8 billion people in the world. I think there is now, actually. Shout out to China. And for you to say that, like, it was a bit disrespectful, because I like we both said we love the Weeknd, but I mean Drake, like this literally Drake could go to fucking Australia, or not even Australia. He could go to goddamn Nigeria right now, and them shits would sell out just as fast as they did in the US.
Man, that's fucking.
Yo, Drake's been running the game since he's been prepping 13-year-old Millie Bobby Brown.
So I just want to let that be known. Bad Bunny is he is setting crazy record numbers. Crazy.
Dude, the Bad Bunny concert was what got Mexico into suing Live Nation for their ticket scamming.
Oh yeah, that's what.
I see them on TikTok. I see Live Nation every single other ad on TikTok. So they it don't matter what the fuck they do. It doesn't matter what the fuck they do. Just that's a topic for another day. But I wish that people would give the respect to the Weeknd as he sees fit. Obviously not number 1 in my eyes is popularity. I think he is obviously crazy talented. And for anyone that says otherwise, you are faded as fuck. You must be smoking that frequency.
Good.
That
Franklin say shout out to the crack epidemic once again.
I'm telling you right now.
I might just make that the title.
Shout out to the crack.
Yeah, put that down and hold on to that for a bit. I don't know if you guys have any further thoughts on it. I definitely think we've hit a few things. But so this is tough. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I don't have any further thoughts. I don't know about you guys, but honestly, Sterling, I think that was a hell of a mic drop.